This conference will now be recorded.
We have created a template for car. I have created a template for the car. I defined some properties here. And I have defined some functions. Just a minute. Yeah, this one. I have defined some functions: start car, enable sport drive, and stop car. And we have learned how to use these objects. Let me brief it out, then I go with method overloading concept for today. Method overloading and inheritance we learn today. And little pouring diagram, don't mind. At first, I created a template car. For this template, I have defined some properties. Name one property I have defined. Color one property I have defined. Price one property I have defined. Number of wheels I defined, but here I assign the value, I initialize the value equal to 4. But for the remaining properties, I was not initialized any value. Correct? And also, I have defined some functions. Start car, enable sport drive, and also stop car. So this is the template I have created first. This is the template I have created first. I defined some properties and I have defined some basic functions. Only for the property wheels, I stored a value 4 because every car template will have the same value. So here, in this scenario, name, color, price are non-static variables. Wheels is a static variable. I made start car and stop car as static because they are common for any car. Only enable sport drive, I made it as non-static. Well, so this is the template it is. This one. This is what I have explained in the diagram. Okay? This is what I have explained in the diagram. A class explains the properties of an object and functionalities of an object. Properties are explained using variables. Functionalities are explained using methods. Here, these variables and functions collectively called class members. These class members are of type static and non-static. Non-static meaning we should not use the keyword non-static. If you are not giving the keyword static, means implicitly it is non-static. It's clear, right? This is the first class I have defined. Then, here, what I did here, let me explain this statement. Here, car is an object. We have created a new object. New in the Java memory, it creates an object for the template, whatever you have mentioned. So what happened? In the Java memory, it creates a new object. So this entire area, this copy will be taken. Just a minute. In the new memory, this entire copy will be taken. Okay. We are creating an object in the memory for the car object, for the car template. Who is referring this new object created? C1. See, human body, also an object. Human body is an object. What are the some properties of the object? The human body can walk, can run, can sleep. These are various functionalities of the object. Suresh is referring that human body. Suresh, my name, is referring the human body, correct? The same way, here, just a minute. We have given some name for this. So we'll do one thing. Whenever you create an object, some memory will be reserved. Some memory will be allocated in the Java memory. Some space will be reserved in the Java memory. And all non-static members will be copied here. Total, all this stuff will be copied here. Oh, sorry. This is copied here. Who is referring this object available in the memory? I have given a name for this, right? What is the name I have given? C1. C1. One moment. some memory allocated, some space reserved, a new object created in the memory. C1 is referring the new object. C1 is referring the new object. And what are the properties available? All these properties will be copied. This name, this color, whatever the members, all the members will be copied into the new memory for the object we have created. The price, wheels equal to 4. Also, even the functions also will be copied. The start car, whatever available, everything will be copied here. Enable spore drive, and even the stop car. Everything will be copied. And here, after creating the object for the class, here C1 is the object reference variable. C1 is the object reference variable. C1, the C1. Everything will be copied into the memory whose reference is C1. Then C1.name equal to RD. What happens when this statement was executed by the JVM? In the C1, there is a name property. Here we are assigning a value RD, right? So in the memory, that RD will be stored here for the name. And C1.color equal to red. In the memory, for the variable color, the value whatever you have assigned will be stored red. Like this, remaining thing also will go. The same thing will happen for the second object, third object, even for the fourth object. These we are accessing with the reference of the C1. So here we are writing C1 dot, okay, car dot start car. In fact, we can use C1 dot start car also. C1 dot, I told you, if you are really accessing the static member of a class, better to go by the class name. Instead of calling with the help of the object reference variable. This will go, it goes here, access it, and printed it. Instead, if I simply say car dot start car, C1 dot name, always this is the parent, right? First, your JVM refers to the car class. Very quickly, these methods can be accessible rather than going to the reference of the object. So, if you want to access a static member of any class name dot member name, it can be a method or a variable. If you want to access a non-static member, here the non-static members, you give the object reference variable. The same way this will go for C2, C3 also. So this is what just I have explained in the yesterday session. Today, let me teach you method overloading concept. Method overloading. To explain method overloading concept, I'm creating a class with the name calculator. I'll give it a first generic example. Then we see where method overloading will be help us in Selenium test cases. The practically way this will be used in Selenium programs we'll discuss. Let me first go with a generic example. I created a class with the name calculator. The topic what we are learning, method overloading concept. So what is method overloading concept? Let's see. To explain this, first I'm declaring a method sum. This is a method I'm creating to sum to given integers, value 1 and value 2. Here, I'm declaring some local variables a, b, c, a equal to v1, b equal to v2, c equal to a plus b, finally I want to return the c. So what is the return type here? Integer. So this I'll make as integer. Well, now I'm creating one more class to demonstrate how to make use of it. So here, I want to sum two given values. In order to sum two given values, already there is a method available in the calculator class sum. Sum is the method name. So I want to access this method. As it is a non-static method, I create an object for the class calculator. Calculator C equal to new calculator. So whenever we use the statement new calculator, it is an object. A new object created in the Java heap memory. It will copy the template of the calculator class. That memory reference variable is C. C referring the new object created in the heap memory. Now, C dot, I'm using the method sum method. I'm giving two integers, 10 and 20. Okay. What is the return type of this? Observe. C dot, I'm using the function sum function. It needs two arguments. And the return type is an integer. Okay. It needs two arguments of type integer, 10, 20. This sum returning a integer, correct? It is returning an integer. Whatever the value it is returning, this I am keeping in a variable, a local variable res. The selector statement, which is right side expression, returning an integer, which is sum of given two integers, this I am keeping in a variable called res. Let me print it. Yes, we are getting 30 here. We are getting 30 here. Well, it's done. Now, I wanted sum of two double values. Two double values like 10.25, 20.20. Why it is showing an error? You answer me. It is showing some error here. You answer me why it is showing an error. the sum function, what is the data type of the two input arguments? Integers. But what are the values we are passing? Double. Hence it is showing an error. Okay. But my requirement, maybe in one scenario I want to sum two integers, agree. Maybe in some other scenario I want to sum two real numbers, meaning including the fractions. In one scenario I want to sum two integers, existing function will go. Maybe I encounter another scenario where I want to sum two real numbers. So what I can do, I can go with an object. I can go with an object because object will accept any kind of data. Also, I can create another function. Again, my function name is sum. Again, my function name is sum. Double V1, double V2. You please observe here this function name is sum. This function name also sum. Yes, it is allowed in Java. A Java class, here the class name is calculator, one class. One class can have two or more functions with the same name, not only two or more functions with the same name, provided either number of input arguments are changing or input data type is changing. I'll write here, a Java class can have two or more methods with the same name, if number of input arguments are different or maybe same number of input arguments or data type is different. Here number of input arguments are 2. Here also number of input arguments are 2. Here the data type is an integer. Here the input fields data type is a double. This is allowed in Java. This is called method overloading. A Java class can have two or more methods with the same name. Either number of input arguments are changing or data type is changing. Here, as of now, in this example, we have same number of arguments, two arguments, but here the data type is integer, here the data type is double. This concept is called method overloading in Java programming. Now here, I'm declaring some variables, ABC. So these are local variables. Hence, the local variable's life is limited to only this particular function. Here A will be different, here A is different. It's a local variable, not a class level global variable. So A equal to V1, B equal to V2, C equal to A plus B. Return C. So here what is the return type? Double. It is allowed in Java programming. Well, let us go back to this core test. In one scenario, I want to sum two given integers. I'm calling the sum function. You please observe here. There are two sum functions available for this object C. First function sum asking to input arguments of type integer. Second function requires two input arguments of type double. Okay. Now this time I want to sum two integers. I'll accept this function. V1 value 10, V2 value 20 I have given. Now here I am printing the RES. We are getting 30. Now, this time I want to sum. Here, I want to sum two double values. Already object is available or created. See, I'm using the sum function, not this one. This time I'm using this one because this is my requirement. Now I am giving the double values. Something like this. This I'm keeping in a variable of type double. Oh, sorry. Of type double, the variable name, for example, results 1. Okay. Let me print the results 1. These are sum of two given integers. These are sum of two given double values. Okay. So here, in this calculator class, I have two functions with the same name. Sum, this is also sum. Number of arguments are 2. Here also number of arguments are 2. But here the data type is integer. Here the data type is double. This is accepted in Java programming. It is called method overloading concept. Now, I encountered another scenario. For example, I want to define a function to sum three integers. So what I can do, I'm creating one more function, public void with the name sum. For here, you may have a question, sir, why to give sum? We can give some other name, say total. Okay. Maybe after 1 week, if I'm referring this class, I have observed there are some methods with the name sum, there are some methods with the name total. Definitely end user will be confused. What is total, what is sum? For this reason, we follow the same naming convention, sum. Because in Java, it is accepted either number of arguments are varying or data type is varying, correct? Okay, now, I want to define a function to sum three integers. Now what I will do, int v1, for here the data type is integer, here the data type is double, but here what I'm doing, see, int v1, int v2, int v3. You please observe there is no error. And keenly observe what I'm doing again. Int, for example, value 1, int value 2. People, can you mute yourself? Yes, you answer me why it is showing an error here. You answer me why it is showing an error here. You answer me why it is showing an error. Here also we are getting some error here. Here my function name is sum. It takes two inputs of type integer. Here also my function name is sum. Names can be thing value 1 or a or b or x or y, whatever. This function also taking two inputs of types integer. Same function name, number of arguments same, even input data type also same, which is not accepted. Got it? Supposing here int value 3, it is accepted. See, this is accepted because this sum function defined to sum two given integers, this sum function defined to sum three given integers. Here the data type is same, integer. Here also data type is same, integer. But here number of arguments are 2. Here the number of arguments are 3. This is what I'm saying here. A Java class can have two or more methods with the same name, provided either number of arguments are different, here 2, here 3, or data type is different, 2 arguments, 2 arguments. But here the data type is integer, here the data type is double. Got it? Now I'm making like value 1, its value 2, its value 3. Because already previously v1, v2 available, hence I use some other names. Now the number of arguments are different, 3, it is accepted. Now here I am declaring directly I can return. But previously, just to demonstrate you, I have created some logic. Directly I can return v1 plus v2 plus v3. What is the return type? Integer. The return type is an integer. Previously, I stored into local variables, then I am returning the value. Directly, I am returning the sum of v1 and v2, v3. Okay, now I'll go back to this calculator test. Here, this time I want to sum. Here, I want to sum 3 integers. So what I do, already the object reference variable available, c dot, I'll call the function sum now. You want to sum two integers, use it. You want to sum two double values, use it. You want to sum three integers, now I can use it. This kind of flexibility we are giving to the end user by creating the skeleton like this, template like this. Now here I'm giving 10, 20, and 30. This I'm storing into some other variable, results 2. Sorry, results 2. Let me print it. Results 2. Here we are summing two integers, 10, 20, output 30. Here we are summing two double values, output is 30.45. Here we are summing three given integers, 10, 20, 30, together it is 60. Let us run this class. Now this is your output. So this concept is called method overloading. A Java class can have two or more methods with the same name. Either number of arguments are changing or number of arguments are same but data type is different. This is allowed in Java programming. This concept is called method overloading. Please confirm you understood this, everybody, so that I'll explain where practically we use it in Selenium point of view. Do confirm till this point understood. Sir, as many people have said, we don't have any knowledge on any programming, Java programming especially. So slowly I'm driving the sessions with all the concepts about the things, whatever needed. Right, clear, right? Well, If all you know Java, straight away I can go with the Selenium. Well, good. Now, let me explain where this concept will come into the picture in practicality, in reality. I explain the concept, where this concept will be useful in while implementing the project scenario. Let us consider, okay. I'm showing you the RNHRM product. Let me log in as administrator. I log in as admin. Now in this product, I have a feature, admin can add a new employee, register a new employee. Okay. You keenly observe the form and tell me, answer me in the chat box, what are the mandatory fields? Or totally what are the fields available here? I want to register a new employee. What are the inputs we have to give? I want to add a new employee. What are the inputs are required? First name, last name. First name, last name. Employee ID, you observe, friends. Employee ID auto-generated. I no need to give the value again. Employee ID system generated. I am not going to input the employee number. System automatically generating it. First name, last name. What about middle name? What about middle name? See, maybe middle name is optional field, but I can create an employee by giving middle name also, right? We can create an employee by giving middle name also, right? Correct? Okay. So totally what are the inputs field here? First name, middle name, last name. Agree? The input values to add a new employee, first name, middle name, and last name. Well, now here, I'm creating a template or an object. I'm creating a template to explain the object employee. I'm creating a Java class to explain an entity employee. What is the name you recommend here for my class name? I'm creating this Java class to explain employee. Properties of the employee are to register, edit, delete employees. Class name. Class name. For here, some people are answering new employee. See, not only registering a new employee, later we can edit employee, we can delete employee, we can search for employee. A template should demonstrate all the functions, right? Previously, I was not created a class like start car one class, stop car one class, enable sport drive one class. No. For every small functionality, we don't create one class. Class to demonstrate all the functions of a real-time entity. Here I give a name, employee, details of employee details. So simply employee. Employee is a template. I want to use the template to explain the employee real-time entity. Done. So nothing wrong. You can give like employee details. Nothing wrong. But better employee. Well, now here, add employee one functionality. Add employee one functionality. The same application, we can so this is test data our people are using for testing. They're given some dummy data. You can edit an employee. We can edit an employee and we can delete an employee and we also can search the employee here. Right. These are the various operations available related to the employee object. Now you tell me, what are all the various functions you want me to create? See here, clearly whatever the conceptual we have discussed, car or whatever it may be, calculator, in reality, how we are going to implement it, we are discussing now. So what are the functions you want me to define here? One function for adding an employee. Good. Good. Add employee, one function. Edit employee, delete employee, search employee. Excellent. Now here, public void add employee, one function. Okay. Public void update or edit, whatever it may be. Any name you can give. Update employee, or if you have any question thing, modify, edit employee, other function. Just a minute, sorry. Then delete employee, other function. One more. What's the last one? Search employee, other function. Well, so this is the practical usage of the class and the functions. Okay. Here, add employee is a function. You are defining the function for adding a new employee. Okay. Okay. In one scenario, listen carefully, everybody. In one scenario, I want to add a new employee by considering only mandatory fields. Maybe as an end user, this time I want to register an employee by giving only mandatory fields. What are the mandatory fields here? First name and last name. So add employee, it needs two input values, first name and also last name. Here we'll write the code to register employee by giving first name and last name. Here, see, we as of now we have not learned the Selenium to enter the data. Okay. Here we are going to write the code to register employee with first name and last name. With first name and last name, correct? Well, maybe end user, this time I want to check add employee by giving all fields, So what you want me to do? So maybe one more scenario, this time I want to register a new employee considering all the fields. What do you mean by all fields? First name, middle name, also the last name, correct? So what I will do, I am creating one more function. The same name, add employee. This time 3 arguments. First name one argument, middle name second argument, last name is the last argument. And here I'm going to write the code to register employee with first name, middle name, and also last name. Here the name of the function add employee. Here also name of the function add employee. Here the number of input arguments are 2. Here the number of input arguments are 3. This is a practical scenario where the method overloading will come into the picture. I hope you understood. This is a practical scenario where we use method overloading concept. Function name is same. Now, here, I'm creating a test. For example, employee test or employee registration test, whatever. So now here, first I'll create an object for the employee class. EMP equal to new employee. Here we have created an object for the class new employee. The object reference variable is EMP here. Now, EMP dot, you please observe, we have add employee 2 functions. And what are the other functions we have created? Modify employee, delete employee, and search employee. Actually, I was not defined remaining input arguments for this. We have to define search employee input value is employee ID. But I was not even, just I created a skeleton. Now add employee. If I want to register a new employee by considering only mandatory fields, I'll call the first method. Here I'll give first name value and the last name value. If any code available, automatically this gets registered. Supposing I want to test add employee by considering all the fields, first name value, the middle name value, and the last name value. Something like this. This is the practical scenario where we use method overloading concept. Please do confirm you understood this. Everybody, if I confirm, then I'll understand, then I can go further. Good, good. So this is method overloading scenario. Okay. Now here, these two, okay. Let me check your understanding levels on this part. Modify employee. Based on the scenario, 1 second. If I want to modify an employee, if I want to modify some employee details, first we have to select an employee. Then you can modify either first name, middle name, last name. I'm explaining the functionality. Based on this, you answer me. What are the input arguments we have to define for the function modify employee? The end user will select an employee based on employee number 302, edit. We can update either first name, middle name, last name. Then click the save button. Based on this, you tell me what are the input arguments for the function modify employee. What are the input arguments we have to define for the function modify employee? I'm not talking about the operation modify, edit. What are the input arguments we have to define? 3 arguments, first name, middle name, and last name. Sir, if I define only 3 arguments, first name, middle name, last name, for which employee? For which employee? There are thousands of employees in the database. Update first name, middle name, last name, okay. For which employee? Employee ID is mandatory. Employee ID is mandatory here. So I'll write the function in this way. My first argument, employee number. Which employee number, which employee you want to modify, edit. Then what you want to edit? First name, middle name, last name. So here we write code to update pass details, whatever the details you pass while calling the function for the given employee number. Here, it's a programmer task that programmer have to create a logic to update the first name, middle name, last name in the database for the employee number, whatever supplied while calling the function. Got it? Okay. Now, just here we are learning about how to define the input values, input arguments for creating a function. Well, now I have one more functionality here, deleting an employee. If I want to delete an employee, I select the employee I want to delete and click delete. Just okay. Okay. Now for this function, delete employee, you tell me what are the input values, input fields. Excellent. Very good. Only one, that is employee number. So here the input fields are only one, which is employee number. Whatever the employee number here we write code to delete pass employee number. Similarly, employee search option. If I go to employee list, I want to search an employee information, I'll give the employee number and click search button. So for example, I'm giving 0384 and search. It is showing the details about the given number. So in this scenario also, so what is the input argument? I hope I no need to explain now. Employee number. So here we write code to display employee details for the given employee number. So this is how generally we have to create the functions. See friends, functions plays a very major role in creating the real-time test cases. Either Java developer or Selenium testers, you need to have very strong fundamental knowledge about class, functions, method overloading, how to decide what are the inputs required, return type, how to create the functions, when to go for static, when to go for non-static, what is function return value, how to decide what are the input arguments are required. If I want to, method overloading concept, these are the very essential for a professional automation tester also, Selenium tester also. Got it? Well, I hope today concept is understood, right, everybody? Good. Well, for today I stop here, friends. Yes, anything, just I have demonstrated only employee number. Raj, we can also search with other fields available in the page. Yes, Raj, correct. That's what. If I want to, I can create one more here, search employee, this time string employee name. That is called method overloading concept, right? So here maybe in one scenario, everybody listen, the question from one of the student, Mr. Raj, in the application design, not only the employee number, we have a search option based on the employee name also, correct? We have a search option based on the employee name also. I can give the employee name, no employee ID, and search. And search. So maybe what I will do this time, say this is a practical scenario. Once again, the same method of overloading come into the picture. Search employee based on the employee name. Here we write the code. If I want to perform a search based on employee number, I use this method. If I want to perform a search based on the employee name, I use this method. This is a concept. Here we write code to display employee details for the given employee name. Right. Well, since I stop here for today, and the question, Kalim, you can, okay, I'll supply, I mean, I'll pass your email ID to my organizer who will give the access. Okay, just a minute. Mr. Venkat, you are available? Venkat? Okay. And what are the questions from Sudha? Right, I stop here for today. If you have any questions, you can stay, and rest of the people can log off for today. We continue tomorrow. Thank you. Question. Correct, Sudha. Your question is correct. That is called method overloading. In one Java class, you can have multiple methods with the same name, provided either number of arguments are changing or data type is changing. It is allowed in Java. That is called method overloading concept in Java. Got it? Yes, you are correct. And Vasanti. Vasanti, I'll pass your email ID also to my organizer and check out why the access you are not getting. Oh. No, as of now, I am not sending any notepad because, in the recorded video, everything is clearly available. And you know what my plan, the basic stuff, whatever once another one session done, whatever the basic stuff I have discussed from the beginning, I will send a document that explain all the basic Java, whatever I've discussed. Yes, Devendra Kumar, you will get it. Why these many people? No, you are getting the video site, everybody. Sri Kavita, are you See, Kavita, are you not receiving the videos? No, my organizer generally upload day by day. Okay. I'll pass this email address to my organizer to give it. Thank you. Good night. We continue tomorrow. Bye-bye.